Hello everyone, it's James here, Craze, and today I'm going to be talking about a situation that has recently occurred quite close to me, like under a 30-minute drive, and I feel like I should talk about it because a lot of people don't know the facts. Cats, stop making sounds! So this is a game that I got when I was playing with Moppy AD, Spongy Mop. Well, why are you making sounds? This is a game that I got when I was playing with Moppy AD. There's a nice few clips in it. That will probably go and get crazy episode 2. So the event that I wanted to talk about was the Dell Farm evictions, because I feel like a lot of people have heard about it. It's been on stuff like Sky News, etc, etc, etc. And I don't know, I sort of feel like I should talk about it because I want to sort of express my opinion, which is why I sort of started commentating. But, Triple! What you know about M60 rapage? And it's so cool, it's unbelievable. So with the Tale of Arm evictions, okay, basically what's happening is there was a legal travelling site. Right, okay, hang on, we must wait for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kuwait! My throat's also really screwy, so that probably came out really badly. But what's happened is there's basically there was a legal traveller site I think it was about 10 years ago, in 2001, which used to be a disused scrap yard, which perfectly fine, I don't have anything wrong with that. But over time, the quote-unquote travellers have extended themselves to double their size in depth rather than width. So what the council have done, Basildon Council, is recently they've planned to evict half of the site because it hasn't got planning permission and literally destroy the buildings. So there's many different views that you can take on this. Okay, you've either got the view from the quote-unquote travellers. I should probably explain who the travellers are. Okay, there's 3 different types of travellers. You've got travellers that actually move around. You've got gypsies, which are like a weird religion thing, and you have also got pikeys, which are basically very violent travellers / gypsies. So what you have now, what's happened is that Basildon Council have planned to evict the half of the travellers that are on illegal land, which is perfectly fine. So from the travellers' perspectives, yeah, I mean, you've got Vegas, stop screwing up at me. I'm just going to keep talking no matter what's happening now. You've got 2 sides. You've got the side that are like, we're not going to move, which is gibberish, because for a start off, you're travellers, the idea is that you travel, or the side that are quite compliant. There are quite a few compliant travellers out there that are willing to move on to the actual legal part. A lot of them already have, because they don't want to risk anything, which is perfectly fine. But then you've got, from the perspective of activists that are trying to directly stop it. I'm going to be perfectly honest here. This isn't going to be something that you can just sort of wish away, and if you keep putting up protests, it's not going to happen because of the fact that it's illegal, okay? If it wasn't illegal, there wouldn't be a problem. I mean, if you're just going to sort of chain yourself, it's not even as though they're going to try and destroy all of the land. They're not going to destroy everything. They're just going to take away the half that has extended themselves. Okay, so I want to make that perfectly clear. And then you've also got it from the perspective of the bailiffs, which you've either got the extreme bailiffs, which are more trying to destroy the entire campsite, which I don't feel is right. I mean, I'm coming from a point of view that's I'm not like racist or anything, but I believe in justice and what's right, if that makes sense. So like the fact that if the travellers are just going to stay there, they need to pay taxes, because that's not fair on everyone else that owns a house, you see. And the fact that they have got running electricity, they've got electricity and running water, and they're not paying for it, is a bit obtuse to me. I mean, it doesn't add up somewhere. It's fair to say have like some kind of staying limit, like you can stay there for the maximum of a month, because that way they will actually travel and they will be forced to travel. But on the same note, there'll be a weird loophole, which means that you've only got to move from one travelling site to another and then back and forth and back and forth. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink of water. My throat has been so screwy recently. Must have tried to do this commentary at least 3 times now. But anyway, so personally, I feel as though okay, so there was yesterday they were supposed to be evicted, but the quote-unquote travellers had gained an injunction for a hearing on Friday to decide whether they will be truly removed, which is just stalling, to be honest. I mean, they could just keep trying to do this over and over. Activists started turning up from the beginning of August, so that will just give you a small description to the extent of how long they've been trying to stop this. Kitty, what are you doing? Love you too. I'm crazy. I'm living up to my name. But what was I thinking? I was thinking things. This is the most bullshit kill ever. I started shooting first, and I got 1 hit marker. It's like sniper rifles. How can you scope at someone's head and get a hit marker? Failed to see the logic. So, what was I? Travellers, Dale Farm. Oh yeah, my opinion. So, if there was some kind of like clock in, clock out kind of series, I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. And if that, because obviously they've got to have their size halved from what is legal and what is illegal, because otherwise they're just going to keep turning up. More people keep turning up, and it'll just keep spreading. Because it's greenbelt land, to be honest. I mean, it's supposed to be a nice area to sort of sit and have a picnic and enjoy, but no one can because the area has been defaced, shall we put it? Might be a bit too harsh, but defaced by travellers. And another thing is, from my perspective, is that travellers, I don't mind travellers, but I think more times than not they can do more harm than good. Like, for example, I have lived in my local area, which is quite close to Dale Farm. Well, not really close, I live like... Basildon is made up of lots of different sections, and I live in one of those sections, if that makes sense. But it's like, hang on, let me how can I put it? It's like where it's an American county to an American state, but a lot bigger. I mean, for the Americans, it's a lot bigger, not for me. But I think the thing is that people need to remember is that whilst human rights need to be accounted for, which, in all honesty, they have, there also needs to be the fact that there's still laws, if that makes sense. Like, okay, it's great that you can have human rights and not be forcibly removed from your home, even though it's not technically your home because you're not paying tax for it. Housing tax, that's right. But, you've still got to remember that if people aren't abiding by the rules, then that hence means that they should go to prison, which is quite sharply followed up by not having any human rights at all. Because if you're in prison, you don't deserve human rights because you've not obeyed the laws of the land. If you're not going to obey the laws, then you hence don't deserve the right to make sure everyone else lives by the laws. To put it a little bit simply, say you've got a classroom full of 30 kids. If you've got one kid that's literally smacking the crap out of everyone else, and that one kid is not going to get done over for it, then that then means that that's the fact that that kid's smacking the crap out of other kids is going to become infectious. And once that happens, you've got the issue of just going on and on and on about the problem. Going on with a problem that could have been stopped really easily, which is where I think this has got to now. From the point that they started to expand, they should have just instantly been cut off. In conclusion, travellers, half the size, bring in some kind of roster so they can keep track of who's there, who's not. But we are just about to run out. I'm going to be uploading a new thing soon, youtube.com/JamesTalksGames. It's like a weekly news show. But I would like to thank you for watching. Like bombs just down there if you like me talking about the news and stuff like that. Feel free to subscribe, comment, blah 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 blah. Goodbye.